Good morning, my friends. We are here for our first semifinals match. We have maybe Lotus's Dan on Mono Black taking on Juggernaut, who's playing Izzet Prowess. And I have my good friend and confidant, Mr. Fjord here. Fjord, how are you feeling about this match?
Feeling pretty excited to watch it. This should be a really good matchup. A pretty classic, actually. Funny enough, like standard modern matchup in a way. You got the Jund of the format, Mono Black Devotion versus Izzet Prowess. Should be a blast.
It really, really should be. I'm very excited that we get to see and comment on this one specifically. And it's funny because it brings back so many memories from our first tournament in which our champion here in Juggernaut was playing Izzet Prowess against a sea of mid-range decks. We'll see how he fares against this particular mid-range deck in 5-Ticks Modern.
Yeah, definitely. Guy, staying true to the staying true with what won him the first tournament.
Yeah, I know. And he was telling me about his deck submissions, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the classic. This one got me there last time. I got to do the same thing. But Dan already has quite the progression. He has a lifelink death touch creature into an edict effect for the first threat that Guy has, and
And he has quite the hand there. Like, my God.
Oh, you talking about Dan? He's got
no, yeah, Dan.
Defile, a fatal push, another gatekeeper in hand. This is just
That's the exact type of hand you want against Izzet Prowess. And Guy has a blister coil weird and a Reveler. So like Reveler can come down in a couple turns.
It can, but did we just play maybe the best card we could have played in that spot in the Chittering Rats?
Yeah.
I tell you, this Chittering Rats is just a house in this format. It is so good.
Pauper All-Star showing up big time in the 5-6.
Because, if it made you discard a card, that helps fuel the Reveler, but that does it. It's even worse. It makes you put it back on top of your library.
Yeah.
It's so brutal.
It's just making your deck dirtle and be slow.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And oh man, we draw the Lash Writhe. If we ever hit the land for that. Whew. Let's see how Dan sequences here. I don't think there's any way Dan gets punished. If we get to see the Bedlam Reveler come down, he uses the Defile here. Interesting choice. I think I would have went with the Fatal Push. And again, barring something weird happening where he goes Bedlam Reveler plus more creatures, he's still going to be able to get that Bedlam Reveler with the Gatekeeper of Malakir. The one thing the Defile for a bigger creature. The Fatal Push can take care of almost any creature in the deck. So,
I was gonna say he had to discard a Bedlam Reveler. That's really bad. He has no more Revelers in his deck.
Yeah.
But I like him not using the Gatekeeper. And the thing I was gonna say with Fatal Push versus Defile is he's only on 3 lands.
Okay.
And the 2-drop the Storm Chaser Mage can outgrow a Defile unless he pulls more swamps. So that's probably what Dan was thinking about.
Yeah, you know what? Once again, I'm being proven why I'm good. It's good I'm not the one playing, because you're absolutely right. Yeah, that was definitely the reasoning there. And being short on lands there, the Defile could get blown out really easily. I mean, we saw that happen. What do we have to do with the last Blister Coil? We had to spend 2 Flame Slashes to kill it. In the last
yeah.
Match, so.
Yeah, 2 Flame Slashes versus just the 1 Fatal Push.
Yeah.
So right. Guy is just dumping his hand out.
Yeah. I think I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah, like Dan's tapped out. This is basically, I think, Guy's only shot to connect with this thing.
Agreed.
So he's making the best he's got out of it, because he's not going to have another chance.
I really do like this play quite a bit, because it's just like, are we beating? How many more removal spells can we actually even beat, even if we don't go all in on this creature, right? And
yeah.
I think this way, gosh, Dan's deck seems built to beat. The Prowess deck is just, oh man, it's just because he didn't even need to get Gatekeeper. He could have just Fatal Pushed as well. It's so
I do like
savage.
using Gatekeeper here though, because Guy dumped his second Reveler.
Right.
There's no card now in Guy's deck that Fatal Push does not cleanly answer.
That's right.
So I like that choice a lot for that reason.
And it's just such a tempo beating. I mean, we just put another creature on the board and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the Grizzly Bear beatdown plan is a really good beatdown plan.
Hell
You have a
yeah.
lot of them.
Well, Grizzly Bear equipped with a
Yeah.
thick
Oh.
piece of equipment is even better. Is this lethal? Are we already in lethal territory here?
I believe so. Yeah, it's +4/+4. That is just
Wow.
lethal.
That was
Dang.
just a
Dan,
savaging, absolute
Dan
savaging.
taking it to him. I think we saw like 6 or 7 removal spells there.
Something like that.
So
right.
sideboarding from the Izzet side real quick. Pretty straightforward, I feel like. Guys bringing in 3 abrades, 3 flame slashes, and 3 risk factors. Going for more of a burn plan and bringing whatever removal he's got.
I think that's what we got to do here.
So he's cut down to 1 abrade.
Mm-hmm.
He's cut the ops.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Cut ops, bringing in all the removal. Basically, he's got. What does Dan look like he's doing?
Well, Dan's consulting the deck list, so he's looking at what he wants to do. Bringing in, again, 5-tick Modern All-Star in Thorn of Amethyst, which is just, I think, is going to be backbreaking, frankly, in this matchup when you're trying to spam off burn spells and lava.
Yeah, I was especially with guys 19 lands.
Right.
And then over half a guy's deck is a 1 and 2 mana like spells that are just gonna be slowed down by that. Or like, can you imagine like light up the stage, like a 4 mana light up? That'd be brutal.
It's absolutely brutal, and it's just interesting to me. It reminds me so much of Real Modern, where we play Thalia, Garden of Thraben, against the Prowess decks, attacks them. But you know, Thalia still dies to a lava dart, and Thorn of Amethyst only dies to a braid. So Thorn, needless to say, will be a real thorn in his side if you catch me there.
And I won't lie, I don't know if Thorn of Amethyst is something that's on guys' radar. I know it's caught a lot of people off guard in the Swiss rounds.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely.
it looks like Guy trimmed some lava darts, trimmed a slash, went down to 3 darts, and he's only bringing in 2 flame slashes. So he basically, I think, just trimmed around the edges on his not as good burn, because Dan I don't think he even has any 1 toughness creatures. So Lava Dart pretty much at an all-time low in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely right. And a real shame that we can't splash green for Veil Summer, out of guys.
Yeah, really.
Thankfully, Watsy bless, Veil Summer is too expensive for our format to realistically play in your sideboard. So,
yeah, good. That would kind of just ruin Dan's deck.
I know, right? Can you imagine if Veil Summer was cheap to play as a 4 in a sideboard? Would Dan even have made it to the top 8? I don't know. We'll see. But
funny enough, it is only an uncommon, so you would not think it's so wildly expensive.
Well, it's 2019-2020 fire design, so it's going to be a little more expensive.
So Guy's good hand. I'm liking the hand.
Okay.
He's got Flame Slash, Sprite Dragon, Risk Factor. He's definitely going to be able to take it to Dan if Dan doesn't have the right answers. Yeah. And oh my God, he does. Wow.
Well, you know what? Double Fatal Push, double Gatekeeper, and the Gifted Aetherborn. I guess one thing we can maybe rely on here is we don't hit the second black, because we have just the Nykthos as our second land. And so potentially we never hit our second black source and we stumble. I mean, potentially that could happen here. We'll see.
Looks like Guy is going for a Burst Lightning to the face just to
guarantee that damage while Dan is tapped out.
I think he's utilizing everything he can in those moments.
Yeah. And hey, I mean, this is initially Dan was on the draw but only kept the 1-lander. And so he hit the land in Nykthos, which, funny enough, is the only land in his deck you could hit that would not produce the second black. We're going to go ahead and fire off that other Fatal Push. But if we do hit the second black source, I mean, frankly, I think the game's over. Because then, all right, well, we hit another Fatal Push, so that's probably about the best card we could have hit there.
Keeps the game in the same spot, and Guy's out of threats. So he just has a Flame Slash and a Risk Factor now.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to just fire off the Risk Factor, which seems pretty smart here. Just try and, again, hit Dan for more damage, because I think Guy drawing more cards is the last thing Dan wants.
Right. Unfortunately, though, the decision to take the damage is so easy here. We just take the damage. We don't care. We're a 15. And again, we hit that black source. We get a lifelink creature on the board, so.
Dan has so much life gain that
Yeah.
the burn plan that Guy used against Bobby in one of their games is I don't think it's nearly as realistic in this matchup.
Totally agree there. Yeah, I think it may not even pan out in any kind of way. But if we continue to blank, all right, we hit the black source. It's a tap black source, but we're gonna take it.
One more turn.
One more turn. One more turn. Funny enough,
so Guy hits another Swiss Spear.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So he's got a threat now, only to get taken out by a gatekeeper next turn.
Well, we need the third black source actually. It's
yeah, not
black.
A gatekeeper.
Yeah, gatekeeper's triple black for the edict effect. Oh, we hit it. Never didn't have it.
Right on time.
This game is getting exceedingly out of reach. Let's put it that way. Okay,
there's no problem.
Here's something. Maybe this could happen. Okay, we're gonna flashback the risk factor, right? Or jumpstart it. Maybe Dan takes the damage potentially, and then we just rattle off double burn spell. We could maybe get there.
Guy only has 1 3-mana burn spell.
Okay.
He only has a single lightning bolt, I believe. Yeah. So he would need to. So he pulled the land, which is not what he needed.
God.
But you need to find.
I land the Gifted Aetherborn. If we untap with this Gifted Aetherborn and connect, then I think it is just over. But we got our window is narrowing, but I think we still have a window. But
yeah, there's definitely a chance. Guy just needs to pull the right cards like very quickly.
So
and
Nykthos
the Drolf's
obviously
Messenger
was a liability at first, but we got to see why he's playing the card. I mean, when you go off with Nykthos, you will have as much mana as you'll ever need. I mean, the card is very good. And, the one of Nykthos was a large majority of the budget for this mono black deck, actually, with the 5 ticks.
Yeah, and it really makes sense. Like, I think it's a card you never want to see 2 of.
Right.
But hitting the 1, it's just so good, especially when you have a board presence like he does now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really lets him just vomit his hand out into whatever he needs.
Right.
So he's playing a Sprite Dragon, which is a little unfortunate.
Oh, man. It's just, the little Sprite Dragon that could. I love the attack here. It's just what we got to do. But unfortunately, this was worse than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought there was going to be a lot more back and forth. This has been very one-sided.
Yeah, I thought the end result was probably going to be like this, but I thought it was going to take a lot longer to reach it.
I thought it was going to be much more back and forth. This has been just absolutely brutal. I mean, it's gosh. I mean, it's really cool. We got to see the power of the decks in both the matchups, that it played. But this one in particular, Dan's deck is just looking very strong.
I do want to point out too that I think a large part of this is so Dan's deck being the Jund of 5 ticks in a lot of ways. He has that wrong half of the deck problem, right? If you look at it, if you look at his deck list, he could have drawn all of his timer type stuff. Like he could just not have found the removal.
True.
And that was kind of what I think Guy was hoping for.
Right.
At a certain point, was hoping that he pulled the threats, he didn't pull the answers, and that's just not what happened. Dan found the answers he needed right at the moment he needed them every time, and it was pretty devastating.
Absolute savage rollout of threats and answers. That was just something.
Wow, that was brutal.
Bloody.